Hi, welcome to YiaYia's Heart Tarot. As we move into the summer solstice, I would like to take just a few moments to reflect on the energies of summer. When we're in the springtime, which we are now leaving, our energies are focused on planning and preparing and planting. Planning new ideas, preparing the way for those new ideas, and then putting them into practice, setting them off, starting them. And that's what we've been doing in the spring, which we are now moving past. Now that we're moving into the summer, the energies of the summer are much more patient and slow, nurturing. In the summertime, with the metaphor of crops, which we planned for, prepared the soil, and planted in the spring, now that we're in the summer, we have to nurture those crops that are already in the ground. It's not nearly as active a process as it was in the spring. It's not as fast moving. It's not as forward moving. It's really kind of a bit of a waiting game. It's a time when we just have to take care of what's already been started to ensure that it will become the best that it can become. And this is the energy that we need to use for ourselves and our lives in this season as well. We need to realize and understand and feel that it's time to slow down a bit, that it's time to take care of what's already been planted and wait to see what will grow. So this is one of the reasons that there is a celebrations throughout the seasons, throughout the year, to mark the seasons, because there are certain energies that need to come into play with each season. And if we are to live in harmony with nature and live in harmony with our bodies, because after all, we are a part of nature, to live in harmony with our bodies and our souls and our energies, it would do us well to pay attention to the seasons and the energies associated with those seasons. So with that being said, in the summertime, we need to slow down. If you work too hard in the summer heat, you're not accomplishing anything but probably getting sick. So we need to slow down, and we need to recognize that taking care of ourselves is a very important part of achieving what we want to achieve. We're no longer in that hurry up and push things out stage. We're now in the let's wait and see how things are going to turn out. Let's give them the best environment that we can, and then we need to have some patience. And that's what we need to do for ourselves. We need to give ourselves the best environment that we can, and then have some patience. Take some time. Let things just flow with the seasons. Let things come about naturally. Don't push. And another thing in the summertime, there is a very natural beauty around us. And so that slowing down that is required because of the summertime heat is also what can allow us to stop and notice and take in the beauty that is summer. All of the flowers are blooming, and the grass is turning green, and the trees are leafing out. There's so much beauty in the summertime, and with the heat slowing us all down, we can take a step back, and we can notice that more than we do sometimes in the other seasons that are much busier than the summertime. In addition, we can languish over into the night much more than we do in the other seasons, because the night in the summertime is when it becomes bearable to be outside, and so it's actually very pleasant to be in the night And so we need to do that within ourselves as well. We need to realize that summer is when we can nurture our dark side, and just sit with it so that we can get to know it much better. You know, in the summertime, you see the fireflies come out. You hear the frogs and all of the different nighttime sounds, and you see things at night that you wouldn't normally see any other time. So you come to learn things that are around you all the time, but you're just not as aware of them, because you don't spend time quietly with them. And it's very much the same with our shadow side. We don't often spend time with the shadow side because at other points in the year, at other points in the seasons, the nighttime is not hospitable. It may be too cold. It might be just not a pleasant time to be outdoors, to be with the night. But in the summertime, that changes. And so if you're willing to just sit with the nighttime, you will hear and see and understand things that you've not noticed before. And that's much like our shadow side as well. So when we're in the summertime energy, it will do us a world of good to slow down, to be more patient, to take care of ourselves, to let things unfold on their own naturally, to be with our shadow side and just allow it to speak to us, and just wait for things to unfold, take care of them and take care of ourselves as best we can. And that unfolding can happen in its own time, in its own manner. And in doing that, in working with this season of energy, our lives will become much easier than if we were to try and fight against this energy. It's been such a beautiful thing in my life to come to realize and to feel the way I flow with the seasons naturally. If I stop and I listen to it and I allow it, it's so much easier, and it's so much more enjoyable. Summer is also time when there's more time to be creative, to be passionate, because we're not having to focus all the time on doing something and working and hurrying and pushing. It's just a time to kind of let things flow, and when you do that, beautiful ideas come forward and beautiful impulses, and you may find yourself discovering something that you never knew was within you, some creative genius that you have, some gift that you have, just by slowing down and listening to the energy of the summer. So, that being said, I want to do some tarot readings today with regard to the summer solstice. Just a short spread that I drew up this morning. But I will offer 3 readings, and so you're welcome to choose any of the readings that you prefer, any that call to you, or listen to all of them, whatever seems right to you. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce the 3 readings. The first reading, group number 1, is the card of Hawthorne. And this is the Lover's card in the Herb Crafter's Tarot. And with it is a Flint stone. Group number 2 is Catnip. And this is the Queen of Air, or Swords. And a Tiger's Eye Pie Stone. Group number 3 is Cinnamon, the 7 of Wands, or 7 of Fire, Cinnamon. And a piece of rough Carnelian. So take a moment and focus on the groups. Get centered, get grounded, whatever your process is, or just pick whatever works for you. I will link the readings in the description box below. So whichever reading that you choose, just drop down to the description box below and click on that timestamp, and it'll take you directly to your reading, and I will see you there. Welcome, Group 1. This is your reading. This is the Hawthorne and Flint stone reading. The first card that we would like to get messages on today is what have you planted? Spirit, could we please get messages for Group 1 on what have they planted? We got the Judgment card. Judgment. This could go one of two ways. Either this is saying that you have planted an existence where you have been judgmental of others. You have taken a bit of your identity from this, or you have begun a process that will ultimately lead to becoming something new and revelatory. And they could be one and the same. It could be that judging others will eventually lead you to understanding the folly of this, and you will be fundamentally changed by that. Spirit, could we get some clarification on that card, please, for Group 1? Clarification on the Judgment card. So we can get this a little more dialed in. What have they planted? Okay. Okay, so we got the 10 of Swords, and we got the Emperor. So my feeling on this is that you have been perhaps a bit overly focused on taking control of situations, of always being the authority, of needing to have the last word, of judging others. You may have actually inflicted harm on some people because of this. And so I'm feeling as though this seed that's been planted is something that is needing to be adjusted. Let's just go with that. So Spirit, for Group 1, what do they need to grow in their life? What do they need to grow? Okay, the Moon and the 6 of Cups. We got the Moon and the 6 of Cups. So what you're going to need to move forward in your life, to grow, to enrich your life, is you're going to need to look within yourself, to examine that shadow side that I talked about earlier, and find within yourself your true being, your true self. I feel like you've been shielding yourself for so long with deflecting anything coming your way by putting the focus on others, and not necessarily always in a good way. I mean, this judgment here, I feel like you have been potentially protecting yourself by turning attention away, by sensationalizing things about other people, perhaps. So in order to grow in your life, you are going to need to look within yourself and find that person that is in there still, that has always been in there, who had the self-confidence and the self-esteem to not worry about what others think about you, to not be afraid of other people's opinions about you, to not need to turn the focus away because you're frightened of what's going to come to you if you don't. You have this well of, at the center of you, at the core of who you are, you have a well of goodness, of strength, and of genuine love, and it's been closed up because someone in the past has hurt you and made you feel too vulnerable, and so you've not been able to stand in your own power. You've had to hide behind throwing blame or throwing shade or whatever on other people to take the light away from you. This darkness here also speaks of that, that you don't want the light to be on you. But you have this original beauty that's within you that you've always had. You were born with it. Think of a little child playing, and they don't care what anybody thinks of them. They don't care when they're being silly. They're dancing and being silly, and they don't care who sees them. They're just feeling wonderful, and they're just happy. And you've got that within you. So to move away from this energy, look within you and find that inner spark, that inner beauty, that inner strength that you have, that childlike doing what makes you feel happy. Just whatever makes you feel happy. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about it. And honestly, people probably don't think as badly about you as you're thinking that they do. You probably, oftentimes when we get hurt by something, we carry forward an impression that people are forever looking at us and judging us and wanting to find fault. And most times that's just simply not the case. Most times people either aren't expending that much energy, or people are kinder than we really give them credit for. So the way to grow is to bring back that childlike spark of doing what makes you happy, regardless of who sees it. So Spirit, for group number 1, what needs to be weeded out? What needs to be weeded out for their life to flourish? What needs to be weeded out? Group number 1, what do they need to weed out? Okay, so we got the Tower and the Fool. The Tower and the Fool. So, what needs to be weeded out from your life is the idea that if you take a chance, if you step out of your comfort zone, that the world will come crashing down around you. You need to give up that belief that if you do anything that you're not absolutely certain of, your world's going to fall apart, because that's not the truth. And it is really stifling your creativity. It's stifling your joy. It is just taking away so much from you to worry about taking a risk, going on an adventure. So what needs to be let go is that belief that if you do something spontaneous, something new, something that you're not absolutely certain of, that it will be disastrous. Let go of that belief. It's not true, and it's only harming you. So, Spirit, what can Group 1 do to nurture their planting, to nurture what they've planted in their life? What can they do to nurture what's been planted in their life that is growing for them, that is going to help them grow? What can they do to nurture what helps them grow? Okay. We got the Hermit and the Five of Pentacles. So, what you can do to nurture what's going to help you grow is to know yourself, to become quiet, to really listen within and know and find that spark, find that beautiful spark inside of you. Remember who that person is. Really, really, really go inside. Meditation, journaling, just sitting with yourself quietly. Put away the devices, turn off the TV. Analyze your dreams. However you can get to know the heart of you. And it's not an easy thing to do, especially in today's world. We are seldom in a place where it's quiet and not doing something. There's always the opportunity to be doing something. But what's going to help you grow is to just be by yourself, be quiet, listen inside, feel what you feel, think about what you think about, and just get to know who you are again. I feel like you've lost that a little bit. And Spirit, what can Group 1 expect to harvest from this? What can they expect to harvest? We got the Eight of Swords and the Two of Swords. So this is going to bring you clarity. And not just clarity in that, oh, okay, yeah, I think I get it. This is going to be a lightning bolt kind of clarity. I can't tell you what the message is going to be. I don't know. But it is going to be something that you've never seen before, you've never noticed before, you've never realized before. And it is going to be something that is a dramatic shift in what you know about yourself. And suddenly, a lot of things that you worried about, that you didn't understand, that you couldn't seem to make right, whatever the case may be, whatever you've been struggling with, whatever you've been grappling with for a very long time, is suddenly going to make sense. It's suddenly going to become clear, and it's going to give you an answer that you've been looking for a very long time, and you may not even have known that you were looking for the answer, but it's just going to drop in out of nowhere, and it's just going to make sense. It's going to be one of those things like, why didn't I see this before? Where has this been all my life? And it's going to give you just tremendous clarity about your life. So, Spirit, do we have any final messages for Group 1, please? Final messages for Group 1. So the card that we got is Wild. So, going back to this childlike energy, this don't care who's watching energy, I think that is going to get you to this place, to get you to this epiphany, this understanding. And here again, we've got the flowers on this card as well as this card. So be in nature, do things that are wild, run barefoot, go to, if you can, go to some beautiful meadow somewhere by yourself. Hear this being by yourself and going inward. This may be the place to do that. Go out in the wild if you have the opportunity to do that. And that will help to bring you to this epiphany, this understanding. So I hope that this has been helpful some way to you. If it has been, I am grateful. If it hasn't been, it may not be the reading for you. Feel free to choose a different reading if you'd like. It may just not make sense quite yet, but over time, sometimes this will make more sense as well. So again, I appreciate your being here, and I appreciate the opportunity to provide this to you. And I hope you come back again. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hi, Group 2. This is your reading. This is the Catnip and Tiger Eye group. And the first card that we're going to get, Spirit, could you please provide messages for Group 2 with regard to what have they planted? What has Group 2 planted for their life? What have they planted this year, this spring, this season? Okay, we've got the Eight of Cups and the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords and the Eight of Cups. So, you have planted something that you need to get away from, basically. This to me is an energy that is, you feel stifled by this. You feel trapped by this energy. You have got something going on that you're not quite sure how to get out from under. You don't know how to fix it. You don't know how to make it go away. and it is making you feel really uncomfortable and just really trapped, honestly. You are not forthcoming about this with people that you know and love. I feel like you've not told anyone about it. I feel like this is something that you are possibly, I don't think necessarily, well, ashamed is not the word that I'm hearing. Ashamed is not what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is that this is a situation that makes you afraid. So that's the energy that I'm getting for what has been planted in your life right now. Spirit, what does group 2 need to grow their life in a direction that will be beneficial to them? What does group 2 need to grow their life in a direction that will be beneficial to them? We got the Ace of Swords and the Lovers. You need to come clean with someone that is very close to you, a partner, a loved one, a best friend, your spouse. Perhaps this is someone at work, your boss, your co-worker, that part of a team that you belong to at work. Maybe there's a partnership that you have in business. So what you need to do that will help you to grow your life and in a beneficial way is you need to come clean to whoever this person is. You need to tell them about this. You need to spill your guts. You need to tell them everything. And they will help you. They will trust, you can trust them. And it will unburden you to a great degree to be able to share this burden with someone else. And that will allow you to begin to move forward. So Spirit, for group 2, what needs to be weeded out of their life? What needs to be weeded out right now? Okay, so we got the 7 of Pentacles and the Tower. The 7 of Pentacles and the Tower. So, what needs to be weeded out right now, what needs to be, what you need to lose right now is holding on to something that is going to make your life come crashing down around you. You need to, whatever this situation is, it is, you felt like you can't let it go. You don't know how to get rid of it out of your life. But what you absolutely need to, you absolutely have to, or it's going to create this, your life will just begin to crumble around you. It's going to undermine everything else in your life, whether it directly touches that or not. It will undermine relationships, it will undermine work, it will undermine your home where you live. The situation has the potential to get its fingers into so many aspects of your life, and what you need to weed out is hanging on to that, holding on to this situation that just is causing or potentially will cause great destruction in your life. So Spirit, what can group 2 do to nurture what is planted in their life? What can they do to nurture the good things that are planted in their life? What can group 2 do to nurture their life? Everything, by the way, is coming out in 2s tonight. So 2 apparently is an important number for you. I don't know if 2 has to do with your birth date, your birth month. It's your lucky number. 2 is a number of balance. So perhaps this is saying that you need to achieve more balance in your life. I don't know what the 2 means for sure, but everything's coming out in 2s. So, okay, so what can you do to nurture yourself in your life? So we got the Hanged Man and we got the 7 of Cups. The Hanged Man and the 7 of Cups. And so what you need to do to nurture your life more is you need to slow down before you make any decisions. You need to, I'm getting the message that you are making snap decisions based on trying to minimize the damage that's been done already. Things are coming up, and you're just making decisions in a hurry, just to kind of shut things down. But what you need to do to make things better is to take some time with your decisions. Really think them through. Even though it might be something that seems like it needs to be dealt with right away, that's not the best route to take. That's not the best action to just deal with it immediately, because there's actually probably a much better way to deal with it if you just step back a little bit and take some time to think it through. Also, if you take the time to think it through, you will realize how it's connected to other things and make a better decision based on how whatever this decision is could affect not just the matter at hand, but all of the things that are connected to it. So the way to nurture your life and make things better is to take time before you make decisions, to take time and think them through carefully before you make decisions. And what can group 2 expect to harvest, please, Spirit? What can group 2 expect to harvest? And we got the Ace of Cups. So what you can expect to harvest if you go through all of this and put into play the things that have been talked about here, you will have a much more settled emotion. It will be the start of healing your emotions. It's going to be the start of not being afraid and frustrated and feeling guilty and shameful and whatever else goes along with the situation. Doing these things will be the start of healing those emotions and healing the situation and healing the rest of your life. But in particular, healing this feeling that this situation gives you. I just have this heavy feeling of being trapped. I just keep getting a flash of just being trapped, and the outcome of this situation is that will go away. It may not go away immediately, but it will. This is the beginning of that going away. So hopefully that makes sense for you. Spirit, I would like to get some final messages here for group 2, please, if we could. Final messages, clarity, some suggestions, whatever we can provide to group 2 to help them with this situation, to help them with their life. Final messages for group 2, please. Okay, so the message that we got is vulnerable. So if you have been protecting yourself, and that may be part of this trapped energy that I'm seeing, is that you're putting up walls. You are all of your actions are based on protecting yourself, of trying not to be vulnerable, of trying to be untouchable, of trying to minimize any harm that might come to you. But in actuality, the way that you're going to have to go about fixing this is you're going to have to become vulnerable. And that could be part of this sharing with a trusted individual here. You're going to have to open up to someone because you're going to need help with this. You need help with this situation. So you need to become vulnerable, trust someone, and they will help you. So I hope that this has been helpful for you, Group 2. If you have any comments, I would welcome them. If this didn't resonate with you, then it may not be the reading for you. Feel free to pick another reading or come back another time. But I do hope that you come back again, and I am grateful that I've been able to do this reading for you and hopefully provide you with some guidance, some help, some insight, whatever it is that you might need. And I thank you for being here, and I will see you again. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hi, Group 3. This is your reading. The Cinnamon and Rough Carnelian group. The first card that we need, Spirit, for Group 3 is, what have you planted? What have you planted? What have you planted in your life? We got the Knight of Wands. So what you have planted in your life is that you are creative, you are a go-getter, you're someone who is passionate about what they do and what they believe in. You are one who has brilliant insights, but you don't just let them stay insights. You act on them. And so this is the energy that you've planted in your life. Spirit, for group number 3, what does this energy need to grow? What does this that they planted in their life need to grow? What does it need from them in order to grow and be fruitful for them? Okay, the card that we got is the Hanged Man, the Hanged Man. So basically you just need to let this energy develop on its own. Need to continue with what you're doing, but not push. Allow this energy to expand and to develop naturally. So don't go chasing causes, but when you feel strongly about something, then that's something that you can be a vital instrument in making it happen, or changing something that needs to be changed, or righting a wrong. When it's something that you feel strongly about, then that's the time to act. That's the time to grab onto this energy, but don't force it. Don't go out looking for causes. Don't get too caught up in the thrill of it, or the adrenaline of it, or the recognition of it. Make sure that the things that you go after are the things that feel true to you. So Spirit, what needs to be weeded out for group number 3? Group 3, what do they need to weed out? Okay, we got the Temperance card, the Temperance card. So the feeling that I'm getting from this is that you may be suffering from some lackluster energy right now, perhaps some procrastination, or just not wanting to get out in the world. I mean, with everything that's going on right now, that's certainly understandable. I know a lot of us, with the pandemic, with the political climate, the economic climate, the war in Ukraine and Russia, we all have sort of gotten into hermit mode, and it's really, really been tough to get back out in the world. But I feel like with you, if you're not grabbing onto the energy that excites you, then you become stagnant, and you could find yourself spiraling into a darker place, and losing the spark that you have, at least for a time. So what needs to be weeded out in your life is the feeling of boredom, basically, or of being closed off, or being too protected. Needs to be something that's not a strong energy for you. Your strong energy is this energy of insight, of excitement, of passion. So that's what brings your life to the best place. Spirit, could we get messages, please, for group 3 on what can they do to nurture that they've planted in their life to bring about the best outcome? Okay, the Hierophant. So spread your wisdom. Make yourself heard. Gain a following. Just be a teacher. If people come to you for advice, give it to them. Trust yourself. Know that you know. Even if it's an insight that's not been tested before, but if someone comes up to you and they say, "Hey, can you tell me how would I best go about this?" And bang, you just have this idea that it just sets you on fire. And but you don't know if it's ever even been done before. It's not something that you're really that familiar with. It's not something that you've researched. It's not something that you know for sure, but you just have this feeling. You have this gut feeling that hey, this is just the way to do this. This would be great, and you're excited about the idea. So you need to trust that in yourself. You are this teacher. You are this person that people will come to and follow and look up to, and that is what you can do. Accept that, believe that, be that person, and that will nurture you as much as it nurtures others. So Spirit, what can group 3 expect to harvest from all this? What can group 3 expect to harvest in their life? Okay, so we got the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups says that you are going to harvest this beautiful feeling of fulfillment, and a shared emotion with all of the people in your life. It's going to be just this abundant love and joy that is going to come about in your life when you are walking your true path, when you are this teacher, this fiery spark. That's going to lead you to this place of just really, really beautifully fulfilling joy and emotion and happiness, not just for you, but for all those around you as well. Spirit, thank you for that reading. Thank you for these messages. Could we please get final messages for group 3, please? Final messages for group 3. Whoops. Well, the card that we got is ending. And the picture that I got is that it's time to end this reading. Basically that means that there's not much that I can add to this. The only other thing that I take from this is that by living your life in this way, when it comes to your time to move on from this lifetime, you will not have regrets. You will have beautiful memories of your life, and you won't regret anything that you did or didn't do in your life if you live in this way. So, group 3, I hope that was an uplifting message for you. I hope that this provided you with some guidance, some if you needed some encouragement, whatever. But I hope that it was helpful to you, and I am grateful that I was able to provide this for you, and I am grateful that you were here with me. If this didn't resonate with you, feel free to pick another group or come back another time, and I do hope that you come back again because I really am grateful for you being here, and thank you, and blessings, and goodbye.